pick up a map now. But I'm open to it. I'm ready. My body's still ready for a Mindfreak map win.
Yeah, look, I don't think we would have said Mindfreak can pick up a map against Sydney Drop Bears after they were 3-0 down, but then they ended up getting Rialto as well. So let's hold our judgment until we get to see the end of the series, though I do tend to agree with you in that I'm not feeling too confident here for Mindfreak. Order back to the attacking side now. It seems like they are going to be probably starting on the attack as long as they keep winning those maps.
So, Order heading out through the left. We can see the main difference here is that Mindfreak has Davey on the Winston, whilst Order has the Reinhardt. Swalko just trying to use that boot
Almost
to
got
put them out of position, and yeah, almost did a pretty good job. Davey has potential, as we saw on Monday, Jordan, to charge up Primal Rain very quickly up against Reinhardt Goats. Let's see whether that is actually the case here or not. 90%, 97, there we go. About to have a Primal Rage available already. Going to jump right up into it, and they know he's about to hit the queue. That's going to make life very difficult now for Order. Yeah,
it's really a free-for-all at the moment for Order, isn't it? Everyone gets thrown in different directions because Dave is literally in the center of their entire team as he ults. They get flung everywhere. It's unfortunately for Yuki, him who does inevitably go down. And that's why I think you pick Winston on this first point.
I can't help but feel like Winston on defense here on Volskar is almost like a free burst fight.
It almost feels like a free Primal Rage, doesn't it? Because you're able to charge that up so quickly. By the time the attacks actually get to the point, you generally do have it or almost have it. This is where it starts to come a little unstuck, but that's a good pick.
Deleted, even as that sound barrier comes out from Antar. Quat's very low as well. The two main tanks going down. Well, Order's going to be forced to fall back once again. Davey already up to 53% on his Primal Rage, and Mindfreak actually coming out with this quite well, though, to be fair, Order is sitting on 5 ultis.
They certainly are. Well, I didn't expect that Mindfreak was actually going to hold there, but a very, very nice job done onto Sign. Now it's on Mindfreak to really use those ults first, get themselves playing proactively, try to put Order on the back foot, but it's Sign that starts off with the grab surge.
Does indeed. Davey goes down and Christoph once again, unfortunately. It's not going to work out. I'm not even sure. Is that not the grab finder? I don't even know. I don't even know. Anyway, I'm never sure what that even means. Obviously bad.
Yeah, I don't really know exactly what was going on there, Ben. But regardless, Quats with the Earth Shatter, that's not going to help too much when he gets thrown off the edge. Nicely done from Slidzor J. Big individual plays being made by Mindfreak right now, and that is maybe what we needed to see.
Yeah, nice work indeed. And Mindfreak now, there's only 1 minute 13 on the clock here, Jordan. Mindfreak's looking okay.
It's probably only one more fight now for Order, depending on how long it takes them to get in, but they're still waiting for Sign to come off the respawn. Okay, maybe you're able to get 2 if someone can touch for overtime and stall for that long, but realistically speaking, this is actually looking like it could well be a full hold for Mindfreak. They've got ultimates coming up in this fight. Rally, Sound Barrier, Transcendence, fairly close by. Order themselves have got Rally and Self-Destruct. Opportunities on both sides, but that's a massive pick. Swilko, how's he even found that?
I don't even know. Swilko's been playing some crazy angles here.
Time to reset again, Order.
Quats goes down. Look, this is the time where Mindfreak can be really aggressive, looking to capture them out, and now getting a lot of ultimate challenges as well. Look, 26 seconds. This is not very much time at all. Order have one more fight remaining. Quats has changed across to Winston.
Yeah, and that's really important, being able to get a fight like that for Mindfreak. It allows them to charge the Graviton Surge up. They're going to have Primal Rage. I mean, they're going to have everything except for Self-Destruct here, so there's no reason that Mindfreak should not hold this.
Well, you say that. Let's see how it plays out. Addy has the grab available, looking for where it's used. Wants to throw it out, doesn't want it to get caught. Into the middle we go.
Missed everyone.
Yeah, no one's in it. That's less than ideal. It's in the middle of a big blank space. Adams was about to get DMEC, but Self-Destruct comes through, finds Addy. Sign finds Slidzor J as well, Jordan. And we said it looked unlikely, but that's precisely the time when Order amps it up, comes through, finds the picks, finds the fight win, finds objective A.
Yeah, that's one of the worst feelings, isn't it, for Mindfreak? You know that you should have won that fight, you had the advantage, but it's when that pressure gets onto you, that weight of expectation, you know, hey, this fight could literally win us the map. We've got ultimates, and then you just don't use your ultimates when they need to be used. You can't hit the grab. the two support ultimates don't really have much of an effect, as all of Order then come up on their own utilities, their own ultimates, and they're able to clean you up pretty easily. Oh, it's so disappointing for Mindfreak, but that is the difference between a team like Order and a team like Mindfreak. I
would have been looking potentially for a more aggressive fight there, Jordan, coming out from Mindfreak to capture Order before they got to the point, but it was not the case. Now Goops has gone down. Christoph does get the D-Mech onto his counterpart. Fair bit of damage coming through. Primal Rage now popped here by Quats, who, as we saw, had swapped off the Reinhardt. On the flip side, Davey is now on the Ryan as he gets to Objective B. But this fight win is going in Order's favour very, very quickly. A very different scenario to what we saw in the first objective.
Yeah, this will really leave you scratching your head as a Mindfreak player, because this is... I mean, this was their opportunity to potentially win a map, and it looks like it's falling apart very quickly, doesn't it? 2 points capped up already for Order. And it's stagger time. We've already got the Wrecking Ball, we've already got the Tracer, so that's less than ideal for Mindfreak, but Transcendence out will give them a fighting chance. Self-destruct in from Adam, and that is going to absolutely delete Davey, who was still swinging around in the middle of the point.
Yeah, the Battle of the Balls, one an exploding mech, one a hamster inside a piece of metal. The mech wins in this scenario, and Order wins the fight. 2 minutes 38 on the clock. And considering, Jordan, how that went, so they've clearly used like 1 minute 20 to get Objective B.
Yeah.
That is very quick.
Very quick indeed. Well, yeah. Again, I have to go back to what I said on the poll, where it felt like Mindfreak had opportunities. They had advantages, but they just were not able to execute what they needed to when they needed to. And like I said, that is the difference between these two teams. If Order was the one on the defense there, and they had that fight, they had all those ultimates, they had Mindfreak on the ropes with 30 seconds where they had to touch the point with, you know, time being a factor, Order doesn't lose that fight. But Mindfreak did. And that's allowed Order to finish the map off.
It's odd to me when they won literally every other fight to start that off. It did so very well. Fights that maybe we would not have expected them to win.
Well, they were playing confident, they were playing aggressively, proactively. They weren't allowing Order to really dictate anything. But then that last fight comes, and it's Order that jumps in, and Order that pushes into Mindfreak, instead of Mindfreak being the ones to start off on their own terms.
Well, it's now Mindfreak's turn to attack. If anything, hopefully, they can get a little bit of hope out of that and say, hey, look, when we play this how we should be playing, we can take it to Order. We just need to play smart and play as a team, because what we saw there in that last fight on the first objective really was just defensive. It was almost too defensive, I think, and that's was the downfall. So a little bit of shame. Maybe the pressure was on, Jordan. Maybe
pressure definitely was on.
That was it. Maybe it was just a little bit more difficult when there's a little bit of pressure. So Mindfreak now coming out on attack. Reverse comps from last time. It's going to be Quats on defense, sitting on the Winston. Let's see if he can charge up his Primal Rage as quick as Davey was able to the first time around. Quats actually taking quite a bit of damage, but you can see already up to 80% on the Primal Rage.
That's what you want to be seeing. Same kind of concept as we talked about in the last half. Mindfreak doing exactly the same thing as Order did initially as well. Quats will pretty much do the same thing.
Yep. Exactly the same fight. Primal Rage popped almost instantly here, Jordan. Adding Christoph, both taking damage. Order looking much healthier than their counterparts on Mindfreak.
Maybe being protected quite nicely.
Yeah, you saw the shield, the bubble coming out there from Addy, so that was good timing as well. And Mindfreak going to drop back for now. Survive. But they're not winning the fight, Jordan. Though they do have 2 support ultimates up nice and quick. The sound barrier comes through. Mindfreak gets aggressive. You can see Side, though, somehow goes down as well. That's not what Order needed, particularly when he was so close to the Graviton Surge. Jordagian pops the Transcendence, as does Goob. Christoph sitting on a self-destruct, which we could see here onto the point to force Order off. They won't have anything to fight through. Quats goes down. Mindfreak seem to be winning this fight.
Yeah, if Order was going to be able to win this fight, they needed to keep Signed alive. And it was unfortunate that he was the one that got focused down so quickly in the end there. Now Jordacian's been caught off. That'll be another player that will fall for Order. And inevitably Mindfreak is going to cap this point. Just a matter of time.
Yeah. Look, Order doing a reasonable job here to to try and slow this down, but there's going to be 6 minutes now for Mindfreak to work with. So even though we're giving them a bit of grief, what was their last fight of Objective A the first time around, Jordan, they now, as a result of defending Objective A so well the first time, have a lot of time for them to now attack with and potentially turn this around. The grab immediately coming out from Addy. Christoph throws in the self-destruct, looking for picks. Not going to find anyone's actually signed in Quats who get the kills, and Mindfreak's attack is nipped in the bud almost immediately. Yeah,
very, very quickly indeed. Order just had the ultimates they needed to counter what Mindfreak was trying to do there. Signed with a perfect Graviton Surge. The follow-up was good. Now we've got the Transcendence as well for Jordation. So any fight that really sort of comes out here from Mindfreak is very easy to shut down for Order. They don't have those power play ultimates. The next couple of ults that we need to look for Mindfreak is the Grab Surge, the Earth Shatter, and the Self-Destruct. But they need 1 or 2 fights actually to be able to build those up. So this is probably going to be a dry fight. Try and bait out a couple of the Order ultimates and make the job easier in the next couple of fights.
Well, that's what we want to see. We definitely have to appreciate the aggressiveness from Mindfreak on that previous fight, trying to make something of it, trying to capture Objective B with, 5 and a bit minutes on the clock. Quats is going to be in the corner here, trying to charge up his Earth Shatter, swing that hammer around and doing a reasonable job of it, but Quats eventually will go down to Davey here. Now, Mindfreak perhaps with a little bit of an advantage. They need to follow it up. They are using everything they've got. Jordation also going to use that Transcendence. Jay goes down to Arta, side very close to a grab as well. This should let him charge it up in just a moment. Addy has his, but Mindfreak forced to fall back.
Oh, look at that. Adam chasing them down as well. He's in the Baby Diva form. Running away from him. But nice fight win for Order. It was a trade 1-for-1 initially at the start. I think Mindfreak felt they might have had an opportunity. That's why they invested some ultimates there. Jordation actually did hang on to the Transcendence and allowed Quats to go down because of the fact that Order was able to get that initial kill. So all in all, not too badly played on the defense there from Order. And now they rotate through the impactful ultimates again. Graviton Surge for signed here. 2 ults almost up for Order as far as the support ults are concerned as well. That's good news.
3:30 on the clock. Mindfreak starting to run out of time, but still with enough to make something happen. And let's be fair, it's 4 minutes per point. But this should be the more difficult of the two to capture. Mindfreak going to take the high ground and do so with a sound barrier on. This is a nice play. This is a nice grab from Addy. Look at so much damage coming through and nothing on the side of Order to defend it. Both Jordation and Anta had ultimates so close, but they could not get there in time.
They need to win it now, Ben. If they don't finish it off here, it's 2 support ultimates for the retake for Order. Earth Shatter as well. I don't know that Mindfreak have done enough here. Look at this. The players coming back. The respawns are there.
That was a nice little Earth Shatter coming out as well. But as you said, Jordan, Order have these support ultimates coming up. Jordation's coming up first. He gets onto the point. Hunters is available now. Mindfreak falling back. They get 75%, actually 83% of the way there before Order are able to stem the flow. And now with 2.5 minutes on the clock, Mindfreak have used everything they've got.
The reason that plays out that way is that Mindfreak get their grab down before Jordation and before Unta have the ultimates available, which is fine, which is good. And it's fantastic for Mindfreak. You can see what kind of benefits it rewards them with. But the unfortunate thing is that they don't deal with the stragglers quickly enough, and that gives Order just enough time to get back. By that stage, the 2 support ultimates come up. They're able to survive through the fight when normally the trickle situation would occur there for Order, and Mindfreak get pushed back.
Mindfreak pushing onto the point once again. Addy and Christoph will be able to combine once more, but Adam going to capture the grab once again. Mindfreak going to get decimated in that fight and forced to fall back. Christoph does not even have time to throw through the self-destruct. John, I think you're very right with what you said before. Plus, I think we need to add to that the fact that Mindfreak had been unable to find any percentage onto the point before that fight. If you want to get from 0 to 100% in one go, it needs to be a very clean fight win.
Yeah, exactly. It needs to be a gong ringing out. I think Adam needs to go back and ask his mum for some more money for those school lunches because he seems like a pretty hungry boy today. Sign has built the Graviton Surge up once again.
I don't even know. Back in my day, there was no money for school lunches, Jordan.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And to walk uphill on the way to school and home.
Exactly. Precisely right. You've got it. So this feels like a bit of an uphill walk to me right now, though, for Mindfreak. They're going to have 2 support ultimates, but Order has practically everything available to them as well. They obviously have the advantage of being the defenders. They have the better spawn, and to be honest, they've been getting the better of Mindfreak all day today. Nice Earth Shatter comes through. Yes, the sound barrier had gone down, but it won't be enough. They'll find Addy, Goops, Davey, and well, the rest of the team now gives up. 30 seconds on the clock. The gong will ring out this time, and Mindfreak have 1 fight remaining.
Yeah, you don't even need the Graviton Surge in the fight there for Order, so really, this is the situation I'm talking about, Ben, where Order now has the advantage. They're in the same spot that Mindfreak was on point A. They have everything in their favor. Mindfreak's going to have to stagger onto the point. You won't see Order lose this fight.
You heard it here first, boys and girls. No fight win is possible here.
Oh, never mind.
No fight. Mindfreak can definitely not win this fight. We'll see if it actually comes out or not. Already Sign has gone down. Quads is found out also. Earthshatter's followed up. Transcendence from Jordation. The last hope here for Order. But Goobs has a trance of his own. He can pop that when it's required. Those grapplers, it's taking a long time. Hunter's still alive. Yes, the grabs come out, but it didn't catch the speedy Lucio. You were into overtime. We're going to see Order with the respawn shortly. Addy throws out a grab. Looking to follow this up. Davey finds Adam. Quads goes down. The point surely goes in Mindfreak's favor.
Well, you would think so at this point, and it's still looking like it will, but the struggles are coming out for Order at the moment. It's all onto Hunter, though. He's the only one left alive, and still no player has even respawned. That'll be it, Mindfreak. And you really have to give credit there to the pick that goes on to Signed. That wins the fight for Mindfreak. If Signed is alive there, up on the high ground, Graviton Surge comes through, easy peasy for Order. But Mindfreak, they just clutch it out. Unfortunate reality, though, is, Ben, that it still doesn't matter. They've still lost the series. The best case scenario now for Mindfreak is a tie. They haven't capped with time available, and that's good enough for Order. With 2.5 minutes, over 2.5 minutes to cap out point A, 1 tick, I'm sure that Order finishes this off with a 3-0.
Yeah, it's certainly looking likely right now, isn't it? As Jordan alluded to, as Order already have the 2 first maps in the bag. A draw here on Volskaya, which will have to result from Order being unable to get even 1/3 of a tick onto the first objective, would result still in a victory, because it means that Mindfreak do not have enough maps remaining to bring this one back. Thought you said that they could win the fight though, mate.
Well, I mean, never say never, right? But it's highly improbable.
Yes, it was quite improbable, but they managed to do it in time. Not in enough time, however. It's doing it in overtime to not result in them getting any more time to attack this first objective. Order, on the other hand, as you can see, have 2.5 minutes. So
interesting to note that Quats is on the Winston here as opposed to the Reinhardt. So Order making that adaptation because it took them so long to get anything done with Reinhardt that they inevitably had to swap to Winston anyway on their first attack.
Yeah, and that was the time that they won as well. So Addy will find Adam. The D-Mech coming through. Yuki quite low also, somehow managing to stay alive. But Order, as you can see, have been forced to fall back, regroup, waiting to get 6 players once again before they re-engage. What's back onto the roof of the hut? Going to force Mindfreak back onto the point. Looking for the first pick. Davey goes up, Davey goes down. You see Sign trying to play that off angle once more. Find themselves a little bit of free damage. Sound barrier comes through, but Sign's going to have this grab available in just a second, ready to come out. But maybe not now, as Mindfreak finds 2 free picks.
Yeah, a lot of breathing room as a result of that fight win. It's a good sound barrier and a good follow-up from Mindfreak as well. Luko senses the opportunity to get the fight win against Order, who haven't built their sound barrier up just as quickly. And obviously puts that down, tells the team to press W, and they do find the picks that they need. Had they not gotten any picks there, though, that's where it really would have turned around, because Sign would have thrown the grab out, and at that time, Transcendence wasn't available for Goobs. But now they've, like I said, they've given themselves that breathing room, and Mindfreak haven't actually a pretty real shot at defending this now with the Graviton Surge.
First, quick early grab coming out from Order here, looking to follow this up with a couple of free picks, which they get immediately there onto Davey. This now opens it up for Order to come through, grab from Mindfreak, self-destruct from Restov, looking for picks, not going to happen. Order, 6 players alive, 6 healthy players as well, as Under throws out the sound barrier. Yuki also going to use the rally. This could be good timing right now for Order to get onto the point. As we said, they only need the first tick. They only need 33%.
Yeah, looking very good for Order right now. All the players from Mindfreak fall. Slowly but surely. Oh, no way.
Is this real life?
This is the map over. Well, it does give me some time to talk about something that I noticed in the initial stages of that fight there.
Yes.
When the Graviton Surge comes down from Signed, gets Davey in the grab, then we see, I think it was Goobs, obviously, on the Zenyatta that comes across with the Transcendence to try and keep Davey alive. What's really cool there is that Signed gets himself in between the Zenyatta and in between the Winston, cuts off the Transcendence healing because it is line of sight. And obviously in that case then we see Davey go down because he's not getting that Transcendence healing. So nicely done from Signed. Small little interaction that you probably don't really notice very often. But when it works fantastically. It opens up the account there for Order. They have that 5v6 to steamroll on forwards.
And that's precisely what we were talking about before as well, with those grabs onto only 1 or 2 players that can just turn a fight around. And for me, that was what I was hoping to see from Mindfreak when they were defending the first objective the first time around in that last fight. Potentially could have been a different story. But now, staring down the barrel of defeat as the pause will go away and we'll get back into the action, but only for a few seconds, Jordan. Just a matter of time for Order make this 3-0 as they will pick up Volskaya.
Yeah, easy done in the end there. I mean, really, at that point, what is the real reason for pausing? You know, the game was over within 5 seconds. It feels like such an anticlimax now. But nonetheless, for Order, 3-0, they've won the series pretty comfortably. Good stuff. And now they just need to ensure that they get that 4-0.
Yeah, well, as we say, it's the map scores are important, but week on week, the last 2 weeks, this Mindfreak team has managed to get a map of each of the other 2 top teams. Can they make it 3 from 3? When they went up against the Drop Bears, it was on the final map where we saw them do that. It wasn't that payload map where they were able to pick up a win, and it's definitely doable. We've seen how close Mindfreak has been able to get to finding map wins, and I hope for their sake they can find one today.
I agree. I think it's a good storyline to kind of keep there for Mindfreak if they're able to keep getting one map. Inevitably, you feel when they verse a weaker team, they're actually going to be able to...
At least they'll have 7 maps by the end of the season, even if they don't have any match wins.
Yeah, but with that said, like, I mean, getting maps off of Sydney Drop Bears, off Order, and even off Blank this season, I don't think anything to really scoff at.
No.
A lot of teams aren't going to be able to do that, so it could be the difference for Mindfreak between sitting in maybe 6th place and 7th place, just purely based on 1 or 2 map wins. So you really can't look at these maps and say it doesn't matter. So next map, still important for Mindfreak.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much for Order. I mean, we're fairly confident that they're going to sit in 2nd place pretty comfortably now that they've lost to Sydney Drop Bears. They should beat the rest of the competition. So for them, maps on the board aren't as big of a deal unless they lose another series here. And then that's where it kind of gets a little bit interesting depending on how Blank, depending on how Melbourne Mavericks go.
You can probably give up maps left, right, and center if you win every match other than the one against the Drop Bears, because in that case, you know, the Drop Bears probably won all of their matches, and there's no one with a better win-loss ratio than you other than the team who's in first.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's what we're talking about.
That is also a lot of assumptions. That also is assuming that Order wins the rest of their matches and Sydney Drop Bears wins the rest of their matches, which they should, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they will.
No. We don't want to write off the whole season in week 3. That is for sure, Elfishguy. But we will now head to Watchpoint Gibraltar. Can Mindfreak bring something back? A bit of hope, a bit of, I don't know. I just want to... I don't want to say I want a map win. I know I've said I want a map win, but I feel like Mindfreak deserve a map today.
Well, what do you want,
They just need to go and get all the good bits.
Just make up your mind.
That they've done. Right. Would you want to actually want?
Yep.
I want a double quarter pounder meal with a large frozen Coke and chicken sauce on the burger.
Do you know what I want?
What?
New Co-Caster.
Ooh, that's really rude, Jordan. And you can have that if you go co-cast with your teddy bear, okay?
My teddy bear?
Yeah, go cast and you
probably still a better caster than you.
Oh, that's not very nice. All right, let's see. Order coming out here. We're going to be going out with double sniper as well, Jordan. So I'm ready.
Seen a little bit of that so far this season on Watchpoint. Gibraltar long sight lines make that a possibility. So I'm just trying to grapple into the entire enemy team. Works out nicely for him.
Yeah.
Mindfreak, not sure they were expecting that. But to go up against the double sniper now, Mindfreak are going to really have to adapt their play style. Maybe not play quite as aggressive, not play quite as open.
Sign having a pretty good run here on Widow as well.
Merci.
You'll see the payload now moving forward and doing so at speed. Great first fight win for Order. Mindfreak not changing anything up for now. Still going to be sitting on Winston Goats here on defense. They'll get at least one more fight. Try and defend this first objective, but it is not so far going in their favour.
No, definitely not. Sign not finding much success right now on the Widowmaker, but sooner or later he's going to hit a shot, and that'll be enough to dispatch of Swilco. What cleans up Addy, and all in all, it's just another crazy fight where Order, they're trying to space themselves out, trying to surround Mindfreak, and it's working perfectly because Mindfreak cannot focus on so many angles at once. They need to dive one target, but they just can't.
Yeah. I think it must be weird, right? You play so much Goats v Goats, where you're not really thinking about those sniper line of sight, right? It's something that through Season 2, we were so aware of where these snipers were playing and making sure that you were safe. And now I feel like, since you don't see much of it, people aren't used to thinking about that. They're used to thinking of, all right, let's protect our Reinhardt, let's protect our Winston, let's keep our Zenyatta alive behind the shield or all the way back. Being all the way back does not work when there's a sniper.
No, not when it's signed either. Swilco copying the brunt of that one. The X-ray vision making it a little too easy for Sign, but look at how mobile he's being on this Widowmaker. That's what you really want to be seeing.
Yeah.
It's so difficult for Mindfreak to play against this composition right now because Sign is not making it easy for them. They have no idea exactly where he's sitting, and then they push in. They're expecting him on one angle. They'll look to the right when really they should be looking to the left, and then they kind of get run over.
Bot sitting up here on top of the shuttle, ready to drop down with that Primal Rage. Ready to hit the Q, and there he goes. And now it's going to be a bit of a ruckus into the back line. Goobs topping the brunt of it. Yuki quite low, Hunter quite low as well. But it does not matter. Look at that, Adam coming through with another self-destruct. The payload's going to make its way safely to Objective B, and there is going to be so much time on the clock.
Very much indeed. Mindfreak just not able to get themselves in a good position here at all. Like, they haven't been able to reset at all.
Look,
the ultimates do come out from Goobs.
Yeah, Goobs doing okay. Finally has enough time alive to actually get that Transcendence up, and he's going to use it to sit onto the payload. So for now, we're going to have to wait just a little bit longer to see that second objective tapped with the payload. Mindfreak doing what they can. Decent fight win, really on the back of Goobs, who I think found 2 picks as well in the process. So nice work from the support. Can they follow it up with another fight win? That's the question.
They're going to need to, but this is where it starts to favour Mindfreak a little bit. The angles are a little harder for the snipers to make work, and the respawn a lot faster for Mindfreak than it is for Order. So trades are good enough for Mindfreak at this point.
Oh, the Dragon striking in here. The ticks coming through, but the sound barrier will keep them alive. Quad spawned out by Christoph and the self-destruct. And he has a grab, but doesn't even need it. That time around means that they can save it for the next fight. Mindfreak finally linked 2 fight wins in a row, Jordan. This is what they need to be doing.
Yeah, but this is where Order's going to change things up as well,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Maybe they've got time for... Well, actually, to be honest, if you're going to change, I think you have to change now. I don't think you can take one more fight if you want ultimates. So Order, they feel like this is going to keep working, so they're going to stick with it. I think this would have been the time to change, if any.
Does Elfishguy know better than Order? That's the real question.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
I'm Diamond, by the way.
Thanks, mate. Infra sign available here for Sign. Group's going to go down to Yuki. Order now sitting on 4 ultis. The first and second of those will be popped almost simultaneously. Quats and Adam throw out the remaining 2, so they are putting everything into this fight. Elfishguy, let's see if it pays off for them. They managed to find Swilco, but they lost Jordacian in the process. 1-for-1 trade. Christoph a little bit low. Sign goes down to Davey. Jordacian picked back up by Hunter. Maybe this will be enough. The Transcendence coming through as a result of that occurring as well. Dragon Strike comes through, but Christoph finds 2. Slitzel J finds a third, and now Order surely swap. Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do, but I don't know. I feel like this swap is a little too late to get the ultimates up. I mean, obviously, going on to the GOATS composition, it can't work worse than the double sniper has toward the end of point B. It may still end up actually working, but it's not going to be because Order swapped in time to get the Graviton Surge, to get the self-destruct combo. They're purely banking off the power of the GOATS composition running dry at Mindfreak.
Maybe they should have listened to Coach Elfishguy. Because right now, Order
RQT
is running out of time. Yeah, well,
Elfishguy's here.
I'm not sure if I'd go that far, to be perfectly honest. So, Order, 1.5 fights remaining here. J, the first one down. As soon as Order swapped to GOAT, maybe it's an entirely different story. But look at Addy, has the grab, needs to make it work, needs to capture a couple of players in this one, and needs to stay away from Adam.
Is he even going to get the opportunity to use it right now?
It doesn't seem like
it. Looks like Mindfreak just gave it up.
Yep.
Okay, that's interesting.
That is interesting.
They were losing the fight, to be fair, but that seemed like a very, very soft way to give up point B.
Check this out.
Well, that said, Order will be happy. 1 minute 40 left. Pushing into point C now.
Yeah, 1.5 minutes. Really not that much time at all for Order to work with. More than half of that's going to be used on the path the payload needs to take. Mindfreak has all of the ultimates on their side, and they'll start off this fight with a sound barrier. Addy will take down Sign. Uncle falls down too. Order will need to fall back.
Sign just got absolutely melted at the start of that fight.
Deleted.
Time for one more for Order. They will have all the ultimates now. They swapped at the right time for point C ult. Maybe not for point B, but they got through point B anyway. Mindfreak don't have sound barrier in this fight, but that's the only thing that's lacking. So they're looking pretty good to try and defend it as well. My concern is that double support ult for Order should be stronger.
Well, Christoph's going to stop Signs in its tracks, and this is a big play coming out from Mindfreak, followed up by Christoph's self-destruct. Is a double play from the Diva here for Mindfreak G, and that's exactly what they want to see. Now 30 seconds on the clock. They're going to have sound barrier, they're going to have primal rage, and they're going to have a self-destruct. That's all that Order has. We take a look at Mindfreak. They've got two ultis, but it could be enough here, Jordan.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, Christoph has been putting in work. Getting good eats, and he's been getting good self-destruct out as well. Quartz with the primal rage, trying to push some people into that self-destruct, but it's not going to happen for Order this time.
But Adam does find Addy. This could make life tough. Quartz, as you said, use the primal rage. Hunter onto the sound barrier. Shields for all of Order. They now dissipate. Addy's gone down. He'll respawn. Jay's found out Davey is also low. Needs to be careful. The pick's going in favor of Order. It does not matter what Mindfreak throw into this. Order always seems to come out on top.
Yeah, but if Mindfreak can hang on long enough for the rally to come out, for the sound barrier to come out, they might just be able to defend here in point C. It's all a bit of a race now between both teams to get the ultimates up. Swilko goes down low, the Discord orb on him. He'll survive for now at least. So Jay, the one that eventually does fall. Order, good focus fire there, knowing the rally was going to come out shortly. 97% not going to be an option now, and Addy goes down as well. Swilko does have sound barrier, but it's not, I don't think, going to be enough to defend here against Order now.
No, the grab can come out straight away from Signed as well. And Jordan just sitting up there on the high ground, throwing out balls left, right, and center, doing damage, free firing, throws out the Transcendence as well, just to seal the deal as he sails off onto the beach. And now 3-0 is the score. But considering, again, where we saw Order were halfway through the map, they had about 4 minutes on the clock. They're about to cap the second objective. Things were looking really good. Mindfreak did quite well to bring it back, as well as they did, considering how poorly it started.
Yeah, I wonder what Order will do now on the defense. In point A, in phase A, they obviously were running the double sniper on attack, but is that something that they want to do on the defense here, potentially risking, if things don't go too well in that area of the map, that they're then on the back foot heading into phase B, maybe have to change off and then kind of catch up with the ultimates. Obviously, lots to think about for Order. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I think it worked out okay on the attack, but looks like we're just going back to the tried and true, the standard stuff for Order.
What are they going to bring out here, Jordan?
Attackers
not getting baited just yet. But this is their chance. Yes, Order did manage to make it all the way through Watchpoint Gibraltar on attack. But they did it into overtime, so this is Mindfreak's opportunity once again to get another map win on the board. Can they make it? Yes, we didn't win 3 weeks in a row. However, we got 3 map wins, and that's not a bad start up against, to be fair, probably the 3 top teams in the region. Ready for this team talk?
I mean, it's a bit interesting. I think Mindfreak was going for a cheeky pick there. They're not going to really commit to it.
Well, that was over almost before it began, to be perfectly honest. Order sitting on the high ground. Mindfreak pushing through. You can see, of course, with Davey there playing the Winston, that's going to allow them to reach those heights. However, Zulko goes down first, followed up by Slitsword J. And once again, Jordation just doing damage, more so than anything. Up from the high ground, unabated. Easy does it.
Easy does it. Looking a little too easy for Order there. Mindfreak going to have to work a little bit harder to get some control of this map. Payload starting to push under the bridge though, which is going to force Order to reposition. Back away a little bit from this high ground. Makes the life of Mindfreak slightly easier.
Waiting to see the payload really start moving here. Even though Mindfreak's finding the high ground, the payload's not going anywhere. They're trying to find, I guess, an early pick or any pick at all, and it's not really going in their favor. The fight continues to go on, but they're not getting anything from it here. Bots onto the high ground now has primal range available. Adam with the self-destruct as well. We'll find out Squilto. Let's saw Jay and the team now forced back. Davey and Goobs have ultimates available. Addy and Christoph getting ever closer as well, but Order are even closer than them. So, for me, this is not looking so good for Mindfreak right now.
No, I don't disagree. Seems like everything that Mindfreak tries to do, Order just kind of comes back with the counteracting play that works perfectly. This is nice from Mindfreak though, going as a unit straight at Order. Bots with the Primal Rage though will force them back away from that high ground. It's really kind of a game of cat and mouse. Who can control the high ground and who is going to fall off first? And in this case, actually, Order are pushed back.
Does anyone actually want to sit on the payload?
Yeah, but Mindfreak have sort of secured the one important area of this point that they can now use to try and bully Order.
Well, that's precisely what they're attempting to do. Swilko Goops or Jordation and Unter all sitting on defensive ultimates. Jordation's going to throw out Transcendence, try and counteract Addy's grab. Scientist thrown out a grab as well. Unter drops the beat and does Swilko. Everything's going through. This could be a big self-destruct from Adam, and it is. The timing was perfect.
As it usually is.
Yep.
I think you can definitely make a case for Adam being the strongest diva in the region now. He was always up there in previous seasons. I think there was the discussion between Punk, Shoyo, and Adam, you know, in sort of like Season 2, even in Season 3 to an extent. But I think it's definitely Adam this season. Shoyo's been good, but Adam has been having those big impact plays.
45 seconds on the clock, Elfishguy. Mindfreak is running out of time, not only for the first objective, but for the dream of picking up a map here against Order. Quats onto the Primal Rage. Davey doing the same, not really still having any sort of impact. No one else able to follow up with enough damage. Sign has another grab available, ready to throw it out. Slitzel J goes down. That's to Yuki. Sign out with the grab. Christoph found out that time as well. 20 seconds on the clock. 2 picks, almost 3 as Goobs goes down as well. We'll see Mindfreak regroup. One last chance. Look, if they've got anything in their favor, at least the payload's close, but probably not close enough.
Not sure that that is exactly the kind of wooden spoon prize that you want it to be. Mindfreak are going to lose Swilko as well as he tries to go for the touch, and he can't actually get on to secure the overtime push. In the end, that'll be the first 4-0 loss that Mindfreak do suffer. For Order, a 4-0 on the board is pretty much what we expected out of this match. They've been able to achieve what they set out to do today, and that's good to see.
They did indeed, and I guess for Mindfreak, again, some good moments from them in this match, but unfortunately none of those equate to a map win. And yes, we had hopes for Watchpoint Gibraltar, but I can't help but feel that the last map was perhaps the worst one of the lot.
Yeah, definitely. Again, it sort of felt like Mindfreak felt a little bit flat once they'd lost some of those closer maps. I think I think there are takeaways for Mindfreak. I don't think that they looked awful. I think that against weaker teams, they're going to be able to show us what they're able to do. It's just the fact that Auto is a much more experienced and powerful team individually and as a roster than Mindfreak is, that it's just a little bit too much catching up to do. But I still have high hopes for Mindfreak here. I think they are a team that's reasonable to kind of get to playoffs or something like that, right? I think that's something that they should be shooting for. But further than that, I think maybe it's going to be a little bit too difficult for Mindfreak this season. But when you look at where they were at the start of the season, probably not even making it into Contenders, they got in through the technicality to be able to look like a real strong contesting
they
team.
that they deserve to be here, right?
Yeah, definitely. And that's good to see as well. And I think that is the benefit of bringing us back to, you know, however many teams we had last season into this season. You get better competition. Even the teams that are quote-unquote at the bottom, right, which would be Mindfreak, which would be Legacy, are still looking like teams that can push some of the top teams. 2 longer maps, 2 overtimes, maybe take a map off of them here and there, as opposed to just get completely whitewashed in 20 minutes. Yeah,
and I think the thing is, right, it feels like maybe we're being a little bit harsh on both Mindfreak and Legacy teams, again, that came through from trials. And then, as you're alluding to, Jordan, traditionally, we would have quite low expectations for. The fact of the matter is that they have shown us that they can actually compete on this level, which is why our expectations for them this season are so much higher than perhaps what they would have been in the past. So, yes, when you go up against a grand final team from Season 3 2018 and you lose 4-0, that's probably to be expected. But we know that there's something in both of these teams, both in Legacy and in Mindfreak, that is good enough to find maps off these top teams, and that's actually really exciting.
Yeah, definitely going to be a good match when we do finally get to see Mindfreak and Legacy playing against each other. I'm also quite interested to see how they go against a team like Ground Zero, who is really still kind of going through that rebuild after the first couple of weeks. We know that they looked good this week, but how things go, you know, in future weeks here for a few of these teams still remains to be seen. But look, I'm hopeful for Mindfreak. Obviously, everyone knows my expectations of Order, and that is that they should be the team in the grand final against Sydney Drop Bears.
What are your thoughts on what we saw from Order today? We've spoken a lot about what we expected from Mindfreak. We obviously thought that Order would win. Were there any moments that you go, hang on, this is maybe you shouldn't be getting matches this close up against a team that only came through from trials? I
mean, I think it was good from Order, but I think there are still some kneeling issues that they need to kind of look at, but not enough to really be a big deal against Mindfreak. These are the kind of tiny little things that are going to be a big problem against Sydney Drop Bears, but against the rest of the competition, I think it's fine for Order. So I don't think that we're going to see them dropping a series at all throughout the rest of this season, but by the time they get to face Sydney Drop Bears again, if they face Sydney Drop Bears again, everything's need to be 100%. Well,
that's Elfin's prediction, but for now, it's time for another Macca's Player of the Game. A McDonald's Australia Player of the Game. It was Order up against Mindfreak, and it's going to be Addy on Zaya.
Well, they needed a good grab to push on through here, didn't they? And that's exactly what they got. Unfortunately, I don't think this was actually enough to finish it off, but it was enough to get it into a position for Mindfreak to be able to at least finish off the map in the next couple of pushes, which was obviously fantastic. You need your Diva player to be able to hit good Graviton surges like that one, and that was definitely a nice one from Addy.
Your Zaya player.
Zaya, that's right. Zaya, you want your Zaya to hit good grabs, not your Diva.
You want your Diva to eat good grabs and your Zaya to hit good grabs. But I want to say, just goes to show how well Mindfreak actually did, where they get the Macca's Player of the Game. So congrats.
Yeah, the Macca's Player of the Game.
Look, you didn't get a map, but you get a cheeseburger.
If you lose the series, who cares? If you get the Macca's Player of the Game, that's what you really want.
That's what it's all about. One day I want to get the Macca's Player of the Game. I want the Macca's Player of the Game to be something awesome that I did on broadcast. Is that...
You don't do anything awesome on broadcast, though. That's the problem.
All right, well, we'll leave it there, Jordan. We'll leave it there. It's time for another break. When we come back, a very big match. We have Blank up against the Melbourne Mavericks. These two teams fighting it out for third. That's what Elfishguy says. Let's see how it goes. We'll see you soon.